I never thought I'd get to this point, but here I am, putting my story out into the world, hoping someone can tell me if I'm overreacting, or if I've got a right to feel like the ground's crumbling beneath me. It all started with what I thought was the happiest time of my life, my wedding day. I was standing there, dressed in the stupidly expensive suit I'd bought for the occasion, heart pounding in my chest, trying to ignore the weird jittery feeling in my stomach. My fiancée, Sarah, looked stunning, glowing in the sunlight that streamed through the church windows. Everyone was smiling, celebrating what was supposed to be the start of forever. But there was this tiny, nagging suspicion I couldn't shake. Maybe it was the way she kept looking at her phone, sneaking glances down at the screen like she was hiding something. Or how she kept brushing her fingers through her hair, a nervous habit I'd never seen before. I told myself to ignore it. I'd always been someone who trusted too much, maybe even naive about her, but I thought I knew her better than anyone. Turns out I was dead wrong. After the ceremony, we headed to the reception, everyone cheering, drinks flowing. I was trying to enjoy it, but the little voice inside kept gnawing at me. Then I saw her leave her phone on the table, which wasn't unusual, except I noticed a text from someone named Jake. That name hit me like a punch in the gut. I froze, trying to act normal, but my palms went slick with sweat. I waited until she went to the bathroom, then I snuck over, grabbed her phone, and unlocked it. My whole world shifted in that moment. The message was clear. Can't wait to see you tonight. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. No emojis, no teasing or jokes, just plain, knowing words. I felt my stomach twist so hard I thought I might throw up. My mind raced. Jake was her best friend, my best friend too. The guy I'd trusted with my secrets, my nights out, my stupid dad jokes. And now I was reading this betrayal that made everything I believed about her and him evaporate. I slipped her phone back onto the table, my fingers trembling so badly I nearly dropped it. My heart was pounding. So loudly I swear everyone could hear it. I wanted to confront her right then, but I knew I couldn't do it in front of everyone. Instead, I just watched her come out of the bathroom, her face flushed, her eyes sparkling with that innocent smile she'd worn for years. She didn't suspect a thing. Later that night, after everyone left, I sat alone in our apartment, the silence deafening. I sifted through her emails, her social media, anything I could find. The evidence backed up what I'd seen on her phone. They'd been sneaking around for weeks, maybe longer. I found messages and photos, her in bed, her laughing with him at some stupid bar, planning their secret getaway. My stomach clenched tighter and tighter like a fist squeezing my insides. How could I have missed all the signs? All those times she'd canceled plans, canceled her phone calls, the little lies. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just about cheating. No, this was something darker. I started noticing little things, her strange behavior, the way she'd hide her phone like a guilty kid, the way she'd avoid my eyes after talking to him. It all made more sense now. She had been holding something back, hiding a secret that went way beyond infidelity. I had to sit down, breathe, hold onto something solid, anything that could keep me from losing it completely. The betrayal cut deep, but I knew I wasn't going to let her get away with it, not without paying a price. This wasn't just about hurt feelings or a broken heart. It was about justice, about reclaiming whatever dignity I still had left. And here I am laying it all bare, wondering what comes next. Because I've got a plan, and it's not about tears or apologies. It's about making her see that her manipulations and lies didn't just break us. They shattered everything I thought was real. I don't want her to get away with it, not without consequences. And I'm starting to realize maybe she's the one who needs to pay. I spent the next few days like I was in a fog. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, those betrayal-filled messages, the sneaky glances, the secret rendezvous I'd stumbled on. It was like someone had knocked the wind out of me, leaving me gasping for air every time I thought about what I'd discovered. And the worst part, I still had to pretend everything was normal around her, keep my cool, act like I didn't know she'd been lying to me for months. I remember sitting on the edge of our bed that night, the room dim except for the glow of my laptop screen. My stomach was twisting, my fists clenched so tightly my nails dug into my palms. I wanted to confront her right then, but I knew I had to play it smart. If I rushed in angry, I'd blow everything. I needed a plan, a way to make her feel the weight of what she'd done without revealing my hand too soon. That's when I remembered her secret stash. She kept a small box buried in the back of her closet behind some old shoes. I'd seen her stash things there before, mementos, little letters, and sometimes just junk she didn't want me to see. I knew I had to check it out. Something told me she was hiding more than just old memories. I snuck into the closet, moving quietly so she wouldn't hear me. I pushed aside her shoes and reached behind the box, pulling out a small black velvet pouch. When I opened it, my jaw nearly dropped. Inside were receipts, hotel bills, restaurant tabs, even a ticket stub from a concert she told me she'd forgotten about. All paid with cash, all in her name. But what caught my eye was a small, crumpled note, a hotel confirmation number. It was for a night that was only a few days before our wedding. My hands trembled as I unfolded it, realizing she'd been planning something secret, something I'd never suspected. I felt my stomach turn again. I thought she was just cheating on me, but now I saw she'd been orchestrating something much darker. This wasn't just a fling, it was a betrayal of everything I believed in. I stared at the note, feeling my pulse race. How could she lie so convincingly? How could she hide this from me behind my back while living a double life? It felt like someone had punched me in the chest. I needed to think, to breathe. I went to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, and stared at myself in the mirror. My reflection looked back, tired and angry, eyes bloodshot. I clenched my fists. I realized. Then I was done playing nice. If she thought she could lie, cheat, and manipulate her way out of this mess, she was dead wrong. I had to end it, and I had to do it on my terms. That's when I made my decision. I'd keep everything to myself for now. Gather more evidence, plan my move carefully. I needed her to believe she was still in control, to let her reveal more of her secrets. Because once she did, I'd be ready. The moment I had enough proof, I'd confront her with everything. No more hiding. No more pretending I didn't see. This was war, and I knew exactly what I'd do. I'd turn her own lies against her, make her see that I'd uncovered her entire game. That's when I realized I wasn't just going to walk away. I was going to make her regret ever messing with me. I'd seen the cracks in her story, seen how she'd been pushing the truth down deep. I just had to wait for the right moment to strike. Now I sit here, pen in hand, wondering how much longer I can keep my cool. Because every second I don't act, she's probably thinking she's still in control. But she's wrong. I'm one step ahead, and I plan to make her regret every lie, every manipulation. I just need to hold on a little longer, get everything in place, and then she'll see what happens when you push someone too far. The waiting game wasn't easy. Every day I felt like my nerves were stretched so thin I was bound to snap. Her actions, her fake smiles, little innocent gestures, they all began to feel like a carefully crafted act. I knew she was hiding something, and her attempts to seem normal only fueled my suspicion. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was testing me, trying to see how much I knew, how far I'd go. That's why I decided I needed a more calculated approach. I couldn't just confront her outright. I had to make her think I was still in the dark, while I was collecting everything I needed for my plan. One evening, I came home early from work. The apartment was eerily quiet, the kind of silence that screams suspicion. I found her sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Her eyes flicked up when I entered, that fake smile plastered on her face. I noticed her fingers tremble slightly. I knew then she was nervous, which only confirmed I was onto something. I played it cool, acting like I didn't know a thing. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual. "How was your day?" She shrugged, her voice a little too bright. "Fine, nothing special." I walked over, leaning against the wall. "You seem a little tense. Everything okay?" She forced a laugh. "You're imagining things, just tired, that's all." I nodded, pretending to buy into her act. Inside, I was boiling. I had enough evidence now to turn her world upside down. I kept my face blank, but my mind was racing. I needed one more thing before I could execute my plan. I wanted her to slip up, to reveal her true colors without even realizing it. The next day, I decided to test her. I left work early again, then subtly set up my little surveillance. I installed a hidden camera in her favorite spot, where she often sat alone, scrolling on her phone or pretending to read. I wanted to catch her in the act, see her true reaction when I confronted her with everything. I didn't want her to suspect I was watching. I just wanted to observe her like a scientist studying her own subject. That evening I waited. I felt my stomach tighten as I saw her come in, acting normal, saying hello like everything was fine. I played it cool, but inside my adrenaline was surging. I had her on camera, sitting there with that innocent look, while I knew she was hiding something much darker. I replayed the footage, watching her every move, every subtle gesture. It was all there, the nervous twitch of her foot, the quick glance at her phone, the way she hesitated before answering my questions. Finally, she slipped up. She received a message and her face flickered with guilt. She tried to hide it, but I saw her eyes dart away for a split second. I knew then I had everything I needed. My plan was starting to take shape. I sat her down that night, face serious, voice steady. "Sarah, I've been doing a lot of thinking," I said, watching her carefully. "And I've seen enough to know you've been lying to me. You've been hiding something. Tell me the truth, what's going on?" She looked at me, her eyes wide with fake innocence. "I don't know what you're talking about. Really, because I've got footage of you getting messages from Jake," I said, pulling out my phone and playing the clip. Her face paled. "You've been cheating, lying, and hiding things from me right up to the day we were supposed to get married. How long has this been going on?" Her voice cracked. "It's not what it looks like. I didn't mean for it to go this far." I clenched my fists. "You didn't mean for it to go this far. You've been planning this betrayal for weeks, haven't you? What's next? Another lie, another cover-up." Her eyes filled with tears. "Please, you have to understand, it's not just about the cheating, there's more. There's something darker, something you don't even know." That hit me like a punch to the chest. My stomach dropped. I knew she was hiding more, but I had no idea how deep this went. I stared at her, feeling my jaw tight. I couldn't let her get away with this. Not anymore, I had to. Act fast, but I kept my voice cold. "Start talking, Sarah, or I'll find out myself." She hesitated, then finally whispered, "There's more I haven't told you, something you wouldn't believe." I looked straight into her eyes, my mind racing. Whatever her secret was, I was about to find out, and this was only the beginning. The next morning, I woke up with a sense of clarity I hadn't felt in days. My mind was sharp, my resolve firm. I knew I had enough proof now to make her see that I wasn't just some naive guy blindsided by a betrayal. I was a man with a plan. Her confession confirmed what I suspected. This wasn't just a fling or a simple affair. There was something darker, something she hadn't dared to reveal yet. Whatever it was, I was going to uncover it piece by piece. I spent the day preparing. I contacted a private investigator I knew from my office, someone discreet but sharp. I wanted someone to dig into her past, her secrets, any connection she might have with others, especially her mysterious, dark secret she'd mentioned. I also made a copy of all the evidence I had, screenshots, hotel confirmations, messages, and stored them safely. I wanted to be ready no matter what she might do next. Later that evening, she came home trying to act normal. I could see her eyes flickering with anxiety, like she knew I had already started to unravel whatever she was trying to hide. The air was thick with tension. She sat on the couch pretending to read, but I could tell she was just waiting for me to say something. "You said there's more." I finally broke the silence, voice low but steady. "What exactly are you hiding, Sarah?" She looked away, her fingers nervously twisting her bracelet. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It's something I was scared to admit, something I thought I could deal with on my own." I stepped closer. "Well, I'm not leaving this room until you tell me everything. No more secrets, Sarah. Whatever it is, I deserve to know." She hesitated, then looked up, tears welling in her eyes. "It's about Jake and me. But that's not all. There's something else, something darker. I've been involved in things I can't undo, things that could ruin us both if they come out." I felt my stomach tighten again. Her words sent a shiver down my spine. "What are you talking about? Spill it." She took a shaky breath, voice trembling. "It's not just cheating, there's more to it. I've been part of a lie, a manipulation that runs deeper than anyone could imagine. I was trying to protect myself, but I see now I only made everything worse." My mind raced. I had expected her to admit an affair, maybe some lies, but this, it was far worse. I demanded, "What do you mean manipulation? Are you involved in something illegal?" She shook her head rapidly. "No, not exactly, but I've been part of a secret, something I can't get out of now. It's complicated and I was scared. That's why I kept lying, because I was afraid of what might happen if the truth came out. I stared at her, trying to process her words. So this dark secret, it about you and Jake, or something else? She looked down, voice barely above a whisper. It's about me and someone else. I didn't want you to find out. I thought I could fix it, but I was wrong. I felt the adrenaline surge again. Whatever she was hiding, it was bad. I knew I had to get to the bottom of this fast. I pulled out my phone, already having contacted the Pi earlier. I told her, you better start talking or I'll find out everything myself. And trust me, you won't like what I uncover. She looked up at me, eyes red and pleading. Please don't judge me yet. Just give me a little more time. I'll tell you everything, I swear. The words hung in the air like a loaded gun. I knew I shouldn't trust her, not now. But part of me still wanted to believe there was some part of her that was innocent, something worth saving, even if I was furious and betrayed. Still, I had to stay cautious. I couldn't let her manipulate her way out of this again. That night I stayed awake, scrolling through her social media, emails, and the files I'd saved. My stomach was churning, my mind racing. I was close to uncovering her full game, and I could feel it. Whatever she was hiding, whatever darkness she'd been trying to shield from me, it was all about to come crashing down. And when it did, everything would change. The question was, what was I willing to risk for the truth? By the third day, I was exhausted but more determined than ever. Every minute that passed, I felt the weight of her lies pressing harder on my chest. I knew her secret was bigger than just betrayal. It was something that could destroy more than just my relationship. I had the evidence, yes, but I needed her to slip up again, this time to fully expose her. My plan was simple but ruthless. I would confront her once and for all, with everything laid bare. That evening I decided to set the trap. I told her I was going out with some friends, but in reality I stayed home, hidden behind the door, listening. I had a small recording device plugged into the wall, just in case she slipped up again. I wanted to catch her admitting to more, revealing her true intentions. At first she was cautious, acting nervous, maybe even guilty. She sat on the couch, clutching her phone, eyes darting around. Then she received a message. I watched her stiffen, her breathing quickening. She read. It whispered to herself, then responded. I recognized her words. She was planning something she'd never outright say aloud, but her tone betrayed her. Suddenly she said, I can't keep hiding it. I have to tell him. Today's the day. Her voice cracked, trembling. I leaned in closer, heart pounding. This was my opening. I stepped out loud enough to get her attention. Telling me what, Sarah? What are you so scared of? She spun around, eyes wide, faces pale. You. I didn't mean for you to hear that. I crossed my arms, keeping my tone cold. You've been lying for weeks, hiding things, and now I find out you're planning to tell me something that could ruin everything. What is it? She faltered, then finally broke down. It's more than just Jake. There's something else, something darker. I didn't know how to tell you. I thought I could fix it, but I was wrong. My stomach twisted again, but I kept my composure. Stop talking in riddles. Spill it. She looked down, tears streaming down her face. I've been involved with a group, people I shouldn't have associated with. I got mixed up in some dangerous stuff, and I was trying to get out, but I couldn't. I was scared they'd come after me, or worse, come after you. The words hit like a freight train. I felt my fists tighten, every muscle in my body tense. I had suspected she was involved in something shady, but it was way worse than I imagined. I wanted to shout, but I held it in. I had to be strategic now. This was about to get real ugly. Who are these people? I asked through clenched teeth. And what exactly did you get involved in? She looked at me with desperation. I don't have all the details myself, but they're dangerous. I was just trying to protect myself, and I thought I could handle it. I never wanted to drag you into this mess. I took a step back, feeling my heart race. All this time I'd thought she was just cheating, lying about a guy. But no, she'd been caught up in something much darker, something that could destroy us both if it came out. I knew I had to act fast. Pulling out my phone, I dialed the Pi again, giving him instructions to dig deeper into her background, who she'd been talking to, what they were involved in. I needed names, evidence, anything that could confirm her story. I also knew I had to prepare myself for the worst. You're telling me this now? I asked, voice trembling with a mix of anger and disbelief. After everything, you've been hiding this from me the entire time. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I was scared. I didn't want to lose everything, so I kept quiet. But when I saw you find the evidence, I realized I couldn't keep lying anymore. I looked at her, disgusted and hurt. This wasn't just infidelity. This was something else entirely. I clenched my jaw, feeling the blood rush to my head. I was furious, but I also knew I had to stay calm. Whatever her secret was, I needed to see it to the end, to make her understand she'd pushed me to the edge and I wasn't coming back. I told her, "You better pray that the people you're involved with don't come looking for you, because if they do, I won't be able to protect you anymore. And trust me, that's not a threat, it's a promise. I'm done being manipulated." She looked at me with pleading eyes. "Please don't give up on us. I swear I'll tell you everything if you just give me a little more time." I didn't answer. I just turned away, my mind already racing to what I'd do next. The pieces were falling into place, and I knew there was only one way this ended. I had to finish what I started, no matter how much it hurt. Because if I didn't, I'd wake up one day realizing I'd lost everything. My trust, my peace, my life. And I wasn't about to let her take me to that place. That night, I sat at the edge of the bed, staring at my phone, waiting for the pie to call back with whatever he'd uncovered. My stomach was a knot of rage, betrayal, and exhaustion, all tangled into one. I knew I couldn't keep pretending that I was okay, that I could forget what I'd learned. No, I had to take control to end this nightmare once and for all. I'd been patient, but patience had run out. It was time for the final act. When the call finally came, I clenched my jaw and answered. The investigator's voice was steady, but I could hear the cautious edge. "I found her. Her real name's not Sarah, it's something else, and she's been involved with some dangerous people. I also tracked her to a location. She's meeting someone tonight. It's not safe for her or for you if you're planning to confront her." My hands curled into fists. I let out a breath, trying to steady myself. "Good. Then I'll be there. I need to see her face to face. And I want my stuff back." The detective paused, then said, "Be careful. She's not the woman you thought she was. She's been manipulating everyone, herself included. Whatever she's involved in now, it's serious." I hung up and grabbed a small bag, tossing in a few essentials. I needed to confront her, to finally get the truth out in the open. I knew I had to be cold, calculated. No more tears, no more cracks in my armor, just the truth, plain and brutal. I waited outside her supposed meeting spot, an old, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The air was thick with the smell of rain and rust. My heart hammered in my chest. I saw her arrive, nervously looking around, her face pale and trembling. She stepped inside, clutching her coat tightly. I took a deep breath and slipped out of the shadows, walking toward her. "Sarah," I said, voice low and steady. She spun around, eyes widening in shock. "You thought you could hide everything, didn't you?" Her face crumpled. "You shouldn't be here. Please, just go." I took a step closer. "No, I've waited long enough. I know the truth now. You're not who you pretended to be. You lied about everything, from Jake to this dark mess you're involved in." Her lips trembled. "It's not what you think. I was trying to protect you. I didn't want you to get hurt." "Protect me?" I scoffed. "You've been lying to my face the whole time. You've been manipulating everyone, especially me." I reached into my pocket and pulled out the evidence, the hotel confirmation, the messages, everything. "This is your real story, and I'm done playing your game." Her eyes filled with tears. "Please just listen." "No," I interrupted. "You're done. I want my stuff back, my ring, my clothes, everything, and I want you out of my life." She fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't want to lose you, but I was so scared. I thought I could fix this, but I was wrong. Just give me a chance to explain." I shook my head. "No more chances. You had yours. Now it's over." I stepped back, pulling out the keys to our apartment. "I'm changing the locks. You're never coming back here." I handed her the keys, watching her clutch them like a lifeline. Without another word, I turned and walked away, leaving her in the rain, crying and broken. Back at my place, I packed up everything that reminded me of her: photos, gifts, her clothes, and I drove to her parents' house. I left the keys on the doorstep, a final message that I was done. Then I filed the necessary paperwork to legally end everything. I wasn't going to let her manipulate me anymore. I was reclaiming my life piece by piece. Looking back, I realize how much I let myself be fooled. But I also learned that betrayal runs deep, and sometimes the only way to heal is to cut out everything that doesn't serve you anymore. Trust is fragile, and once shattered, it can't be mended. But you can start over, stronger, wiser, and ready to rebuild from the ruins. The takeaway: when someone shows signs of manipulation and lies, don't wait for the full picture to unfold. Cut them out early, protect your peace, and never let betrayal define your worth. Because no matter how dark it gets, there's always a way back to the light if you're willing to fight for it.